So you're the one leading the raiding party?
Hey.
Let me introduce you to my scientist friend, Dr. Lillian Margulis.
Nice to meet you, Captain. I've heard great things.
Great things? Nah, I'm just some backwater smuggler.
Perhaps. But a man who's not afraid to break the rules and put something you want exactly where you need it can be quite useful.
Oh, fuck me, that is so fucking sexy. Well, welcome aboard. Should I call you doctor, or...?
How polite. Thank you for asking. Since we'll be working together, I prefer to drop the formalities and just have you call me Lily.
Captain, I apologize for the interruption, but I must warn you about something.
And I'm not just a doctor. That title's a bit limited. I have a doctorate in genetic engineering with a specialization in laboratory incubation methodology.
Captain, if I may.
I have absolutely no idea what any of that means. So, what exactly do you do, Lily?
I create. And with that being said, how about I introduce you to the rest of our team?
There's more of you. Oh, yes, please.
Oh no.
Very well. Oh, boys.
Boys? What in the history of fuck are those things?
They're called manticores, or mantics for short.
I'm detecting the DNA of dozens of species within these creatures.
That's correct. They're born from a potent combination that allows them to be highly combat effective and survive in any environment.
They look a bit dim-witted to me, and dangerous.
No need to worry. Mantics are obedient to anyone that wears one of these neural-linking Dominus collars. It allows the user to give them commands, even with minimal mutual training.
If you are able to control them, can you please stop that one from urinating on my floor?
All right, I get the setup. The lovely doctor and I raid the ship with these mutated cunts and bring back your booty. What about payment?
You'll get paid in full once you retrieve the data capsule.
You're telling me I'm just supposed to trust you? You, the one who intentionally threw me into a pirate death trap an hour ago?
That's a fair point, Captain. Let me ask you this. Do you think fortune would ever fuck you?
Come again?
Here we go.
Do you think she'd ever fuck you? Put your cock in her mouth? Let you stick it anywhere you want?
I'd have to go with a hard no on that one.
Well, I would. And if you do this, I will. You see, I conscripted into the military just like all solars do. I've been in combat before.
And what does that have to do with us possibly banging?
Mortal danger and adrenaline have a way of getting me turned on to the point that I can barely think of anything other than getting absolutely pounded over and over until I fucking explode. Does that sound like an appealing opportunity to you?
For some reason, I am suddenly quite interested in this job.
All right, you two, knock it off. The emergency system on Tybalt's battleship is holding together for now, but that thing's gonna blow within the next hour. We need to get over there, grab the data capsule, and get out.
Well, Captain, it's time for you to see what the Dominus can do. You remember when I said you could put it anywhere, Captain? I wasn't lying.
Bugger me senseless!
That is the idea. So tell me, should I make a silly examination joke at this point? Or just stuff my panties into your mouth and fuck you?
Just the sex, please.
Very well. Say ah. Wait for a long, long time.
So, do we need to have, the talk?
The talk? If this is about rank, there's no need. I understand that this is your ship and you're the one in charge.
Yeah, I was talking more about us and this. You see, Demi and I are pretty close, if you know what I mean.
And?
And I'm just saying that the whole sexual dynamic aboard this ship is quite ambiguous at the moment, and I don't really see that changing anytime soon, so...
Oh, Captain, how adorable of you. It doesn't matter if you shag other people, and I'm not going to stop shagging you if you do. In fact, it only turns me on more. So, allow me to introduce you to something absolutely splendid.
Yeah. Give me a tick. I can't find me dunders.
Captain, I do not like to be kept waiting. So? Can you both please get dressed?
Don't act like you're not impressed. Besides, if you don't want to see the first mate and his cadets, learn some bloody patience.
If you're calling about the mission, I'm happy to report it was a smashing success.
Now that you've finished with your dirty little team-building exercise, I've got our mutual friend on the line to discuss why we're all here. They don't like to be kept waiting either.
Great. Hopefully they can make sense of the overall plot so we can give this game a proper go, eh?
Patience, Captain. Foreplay is essential for a memorable experience. Fortune, you didn't tell me we'd have such a distinguished hero involved in this operation. After all, titty tassels don't quite go hand in hand with celibacy and scripture thumping.
No, they certainly don't. However, it was really all about your military. All that tourist cash managed to buy you an armada even the Imperium didn't want to fuck with. The Battle of New Vegas only confirmed their fears.
We refused to shut down, and you refused to back down. I mean, someone was getting their dick kicked in.
If you had not intervened, the Imperium would have continued raining fire long after our military was bested. We would have been wiped out. The Solars owe you so much.
Oh, please, I only did what I had to. It doesn't matter who shot first. Empress Cassadora had no right to order your extinction. We're all lucky that she listened and showed mercy.
Ugh, Cassadora was a right old witch. I'm glad she's no longer in charge. We are going to make an army, Captain. That's why I'm here, to breed a legion of manticores capable of revolution. Once they're ready, we'll be perfectly positioned to take over. And I'm going to need to set up my lab. Manticores don't grow themselves, unfortunately. We need a master mechanic, and we need one now. Right. Care to explain just what the hell those things are?
You don't know about the fuckbots? Where have you been?
Locked inside a lab by a bloodthirsty xenophobic military tyrant and forced to perform illegal genetic experiments. Mind if I tag along? Considering the odds are stacked against us, you could use an extra hand on the weapon systems.
Good as gold. I fly, you shoot. Let's show these robo-cunts a good time.
This is the Manticore Lab. The more biomatter you find out there, the more mantics I can create for our army.
How'd you get so ace with that sniper rifle?
Let's just say my time in the solar military came with multiple benefits. As I'm sure you know, there's only one medic per platoon in the solar military. The requirements for the position are somewhat elementary for a medical professional of my exceptional talent. So I spent most of my spare time practicing target acquisition and elimination. A proper lady should always be able to handle herself in combat, after all.
Any thoughts on what to do next?
I'm not the one to ask for advice regarding the revolution. Rather, you should contact Fortune. We must not tarry. She will know what to do. Fortune may be a bit prickly, but she is trustworthy. In fact, I owe her my life. I will vouch for her without a moment's hesitation. Now, if you happen to need anything concerning biological weapons that can break someone in half on command, feel free to let me know.
How'd someone like you end up an outlaw?
Much like you, I kind of misbehaved my way here. I was once one of the top scientific researchers in the solar military. They recognized my aptitude and assigned me to study the various xenos of the prodigium galaxy. I was naturally scientifically curious about the sexual compatibility between solars and various aliens, so I tended to take a lot of my work home with me. Some saw that as unprofessional. I saw them as cock-blocking bureaucrats. I have to say, the Mary Celeste is quite remarkable for being owned by a miscreant smuggler such as yourself. However, I have a few requests that could use your attention. For starters, I have hydraulic fluid from upstairs leaking onto my operating table. I asked for an array of flasks and tubes, but Dalek brought me some burnt glass contraptions clearly contaminated with psychedelic residue. And I also need a ballistics blast shield, with a torso side opening in the middle. Some of our manticores can ejaculate over 5 steaming hot gallons at a time with a range of nearly 30 meters, and I don't want the lab equipment or my hair getting contaminated. While you're at it, I'd also appreciate you updating the comm channels so my lab is no longer designated as Big Titty Central. Did you really just hand me a piece of paper with prescription spelled incorrectly at the top, with delicious MILF butthole on the bottom?
Don't think you'll have any trouble filling that, eh? By the way, I think I know you.
Well, I'd hope so. We have slept together.
I used to be the chief of security at the Red Light District in New Vegas. We had some scientist Sheila order 3 Veneran gigolos once. A night with just one of those lads is enough to take your legs out for a week. When I tried to warn her, she just gave me this look like, bitch, please.
I will neither confirm nor deny my presence during said transaction. I will confirm, however, that I may have found a way to increase the vaginal and anal endurance of female solars by over 1,000%. Captain, what's going on?
Can you explain why the Huntress is here to collect a bounty on your head? She mentioned something about you being a terrorist.
A terrorist? Well, that's technically correct.
Can you do me a solid and tell me just what the fuck is going on here?
I can't do that. I'm sorry, but I never meant for this to happen. Please, Captain, I need you to trust me.
Pardon the interruption. If we are taking the Huntress's threat seriously, we have less than 20 seconds to respond.
Even after all those lovely orgasms, you're really not going to tell me?
They were lovely, every single one. However, the answer is still no.
How are the lab upgrades working out?
This is absolutely brilliant, Captain. Now I can really make you some proper monsters. Make sure to thank Killy for sharing the Snucklefucker's treasure.
What do you think about our new two-horned friend?
I admire Calician. She's accomplished so much. At least more than most surviving Venerans ever do. Also, I'm sure you're absolutely thrilled to have another person on board as enthused as you about narcotics.
You're welcome to party with us.
I appreciate the invitation, Captain, but I'm drug-free.
I suppose taking giant alien tentacles up your ass doesn't technically count as a stimulant.
I can certainly arrange for you to try one out yourself if there's any confusion.
I would like to introduce you to our science officer, Dr. Lillian Margulis.
Oh, please. You can just call me Lily. After all, you'll be screaming it later.
Since she is the one that engineered the Dominus, I thought it imperative to debrief her on the peculiar energy readings that occurred during the broadcast of your historical interspecies all-whole copulation.
I don't even know what to say. The captain fucked me so hard that I started to feel this surging, warm, pulsing energy within me that was just waiting to explode.
I think I know what you mean.
No, not like that. Well, yes, like that. But it was mostly coming from the collar.
During her climaxes, I detected immense physiological changes attempting to manifest.
That's very interesting. I'll need to determine what happened with the Dominus collar, which will require further examination of the thorough kind.
What does she mean by that?
Oh, that does sound nice. But can it wait? There's an emergency situation I need to discuss with the captain right now and in private.
As the mainframe of the Mary Celeste, I should be made aware of all emergency situations.
Sorry, hun, but this needs to stay between us. I don't want him to be embarrassed.
Oh, affirmative. However, please note that at this point in our relationship, it is functionally impossible for me to even be slightly surprised, let alone ashamed, of anything the captain could possibly do. I have seen some serious shit.
Well, well, look who made it back in one piece. Believe me, I'm quite impressed. Turned on, even. Speaking of which, do send Ella to the lab sometime soon. The privilege to study a cloy up close and in person is extremely rare.
You're going to scissor the fuck out of her, aren't you?
Among other things, I'm a big fan of her work. I consider it art. I'd like to get her signature in the form of a lipstick mark or two on my naughty bits.
Crikey! Never thought I'd be playing Snatchmaker for my own crew.
Post haste, if you don't mind. I'm rather excited. Welcome to my lab, Taryn. I know you've just been through the ringer, but can you try to illustrate what you experienced down there?
Yeah, I'm kind of freaking out about it. Okay, I'm really freaking out about it. It's bad.
Don't worry, girl. We think the same thing happened to me, and I'm doing just fine. Well, except for all those super scary nightmares about giant demon girls fucking entire planets in half with their massive flame-spewing spiked dongs.
That's reassuring?
I need you to retrace your steps before the transformation. Tell me exactly what happened in the moments before.
Well, we were flying through the temple in the Phoenix. The captain smelled really good, so I fapped a lot. Like, a lot.
A lot. A lot.
I see. Continue.
Then we worked our way down until we broke into the sacred chamber of the temple, and we fought a Sinu after he told us they use mind control combined with the veil to manipulate the future of the entire galaxy.
You what?
I fucking knew it. Those psychic cunts!
Actually, we off the psychic cunt. Oh, but that was after the form switchy stuff happened.
Okay, wait. Just hold on a minute. You were in the chamber. You were fighting a Sinu. What happened right before you changed?
He fired an ultimate attack from a super weapon at me. One forged from the engineering of the Mark 17 Pussy Pommeler, the strongest vibrator ever created.
And?
I don't remember. My entire body got really tight. Then I sort of blacked out. When I came to, I was a terrifying death machine.
Oh my god, that makes sense! The same thing happened to me. I told you guys I felt like something was trying to get out.
I mean, I'm no scientist, but it sounds to me like she went on a rocket ride to Jizz City so hard and fast that she went supernova.
No. Not supernova. Mantic nova.
What does that mean exactly?
The thrill of battle, The fear of the encounter and the incredibly explosive orgasms, all experienced at the same time, pushed dear Taran's body and mind to the point of breaking. But it did not. Instead, it all served as a catalyst to trigger dormant prototype technology within the Dominus collar, the splicing of Manticore and Commander DNA. Like an injection of adrenaline, giving the wearer ultimate power. For a limited amount of time, of course.
Oh yeah, of course. Otherwise, that would be OP as fuck.
How can I activate it again? I mean, it was pretty much the greatest moment of my life.
More importantly, can all my waifus do it?
Based on the data I've retrieved from Taran's Dominus, I believe I can make it so all of your commanders can transform. There is one caveat, however. It will take the right amount of training in the dirtiest way possible for them to be able to use it. Now, everyone, I'll be needing to run quite a few tests on Taran, just to be sure about all of this. So why don't you go have a chat with Fortune about the game-changing revelation you've had concerning the Xenu?
Good call. I'll see you two later.
And as much as I'd like to participate, this whole Xenu thing has got me seriously fucked up. I'm gonna hit up the bar and get destroyed with Killy. The girl's gonna need a drink when she finds out too.
What kind of tests do you need to run, Doctor?
Please call me Lily. Now, why don't you bend over for me?
Okay, but shouldn't you be wearing gloves or something?
I wasn't going to use my hands.
Oh?
I've got a question about Nykith anatomy.
Are you wondering how it's possible for Taran to produce more ejaculate in an hour than you've seen in your entire life? The females of most species are capable of what we commonly refer to as squirting. A solar like me, for example, could potentially run dry after a particularly rigorous series of orgasms. However, Nykith have the ability to draw in moisture through their epidermis, similar to amphibians. That could potentially give them a nearly limitless supply. That's all depending on the environment in which said squirting takes place, of course. It's why they prefer planets with high humidity.
You lost me at rigorous series of orgasms.
I'll tell you what, Captain. Send Taran to my lab, and I'll investigate this matter personally. Captain, what are you doing? I'm downstairs working my bum off in the lab, running some very important tests, and you think you can play the best song ever written at that soft-ass volume?
Lily? Not you too.
You heard the lady, Demi. Rank that shit!
Hey! You guys have any idea how hard it is to focus on target practice? And all I can think about is how fucking great Kasuna-chan's new highlights are?
Oh, I know. She's so pretty.
Come on, guys. We have a seriously dangerous mission to talk about, remember?
I am so jealous of that bitch. You don't even know.
What the fuck? What is this shit? I am not going to tolerate you sullying the Mary Celeste!
Calixion, you are my only ally. Thank you.
By insinuating for even 1 second that Uni-chan is not the prettiest member of TTS?
That's right. Team Uni, bitch you.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I concur with Killy's rather crude assessment. I have extensively researched this species, as well as their practice of the Torgi and its eventual demise.
Torgi? I've never heard of that. What are you guys talking about?
My data archives state that the Tili were once known for mass mating events called Torgies. Thousands of Tili would join together inside their landmark coliseum, the T-Arena, to participate in the fertility festival.
That's a poncy way of saying they would shag like animals for weeks at a time.
It's totally true. They were the biggest sluts alive before the Imperium ruined everything. Obviously, sweaty fuck pile traditions don't mesh well with the Veil, so they kind of made them stop.
3 things came to be as a result of this prohibition. One is T-pop.
Oh, I really should despise a corporate brand of music born from the repression of the people. But it's just so flippin' catchy!
Then there's the T-Leaf Fighting Championship. They host the TFC in the T-Arena where the Torchies used to be, so basically, they just swapped the fucking with a bunch of roided freaks smashing each other's skulls in.
Oh, typical. The Imperium was dead set against the completely natural behavior of these horny little devils buggering each other's brains out, but they're completely supportive of the unnatural spectacle of blood and guts spilled purely for entertainment.
Wait, Lily, what's the third thing that happened after the Imperium banned Torchies?
Oh, just the doubling of the suicide rate.
Oh.
Alright, enough with the blatant social commentary. Look sharp, loves. We're about to walk the red fucking carpet.
Can I ask you about Teely anatomy?
Let me guess. You want to know how can something so short take so much punishment?
After what we did, I'm convinced Sova's holes are indestructible.
A Teely's skin and muscle tissue is extremely durable, to the point of easily stopping some kinetic projectiles. It's why they make ideal gladiators. Also, their internal organs are pliable and can be repositioned as needed while still functioning, allowing their bodies to withstand extreme pressure.
So you're saying she's the perfect fuck pillow?
What I'm saying is she could take all 18 inches of Fuckenstein and still walk straight the next morning, as if nothing happened. And despite her appearance, Princess Sovelin Maliana is actually close to her 30s in solar years.
Nice. We don't want to end up violating any terms of service malarkey.
Look, we need to come up with a plan to retrieve Demi at once. There's another problem as well. Demi's memory banks hold the entire plan of the revolution. My manticore research, our identities, everything.
Fuck! Can't believe those wankers took Demi!
I'm sorry, Captain. I know you're close with her. I must admit that I too have grown rather fond of her.
I fucking swear we'll find her, even if I've to turn Prodigium inside out!
Calm yourself, love. You'll be of no use to the crew as a raging ball of pent-up frustration. Here, drink this. It's a mild sedative that should help you regain some focus.
Lily, why did my little fella just decide to take a walk down Morningwood Avenue?
I may have slipped a bit of something else in there, but don't worry. I'll take care of that for you.
So, how's that fried dune bug? You guys into it?
It's actually rather good. Isn't Stenocara Molliepis considered a great delicacy by your people? Captain, I need to have a word with you.
How's our girl? Is Fortune okay?
None of us will be okay if we don't come up with a plan. Demi's location, it's much worse than we feared. She's aboard General Blythe's ship. The requital has her.
Blythe? General Elizabeth Blythe? No fucking way. What would she want with Demi?
You know this bitch?
If that's true, then we have the advantage. Tell us how we can beat her, Captain.
Beat her? Are you out of your fucking minds? We don't. We cannot defeat this woman.
Pardon me, but how the fuck do you know that? From what I understand, this team has dick-kicked and cunt-punted every single person that's got in the way so far. What makes her so tough, huh?
Blythe was my commanding officer. We fought together many times. Pirates, slavers, you name it. It never mattered how outnumbered or dead to rights fuck things seemed. She always found a way to kill every single enemy that got in our way. She rarely lost a single soldier in the process, and she rarely took prisoners. This is the master, fucking ruthless, fearless, mad cunt tactician in the history of the solar military.
So am I turning the ship around now, or?
Of course not. We go after Demi. It's just, this doesn't make any sense. If Demi's at the Requital base, that means the Huntress brought her there. But why?
Me. It's because of me. I used to work for Blythe. That's where the Manticores came from. She wanted to raise an army capable of taking over Prodigium.
You're telling me that Blythe is trying to overthrow the Imperium? The fuck is going on here? Why don't we just work with this person?
I mean, Sova legit has a point on this one. What's up with that?
Just because two people have the same means and objectives does not mean they will have the same methods.
Sorry, you kinda lost me there. Can you, expand on that?
General Blythe founded the Requital after she was, rather aggressively relieved from solar military duties. She's an extremist now. She'll do whatever it takes to get what she wants, no matter whom that endangers.
An accomplished commander like that doesn't just go rogue over nothing. Captain, what happened to this woman?
We initially refused to comply when the Imperium voted to shut down New Vegas. No one wanted to accept it. That all changed when the Imperium sent a fleet of warships to our planet.
Hundreds of thousands of patrons started to take off in a panic. Ship after ship of them launched, knowing something terrible was about to happen. The party was well and truly over. I was on the ground when the panic set in.
And I was in the air. It was the Battle of New Vegas. General Blythe was commanding our flagship, the SS Turbulence. The Imperium outnumbered us 7-1. We knew the second they made a move, we'd be fucked. What the Imperium didn't know is that Blythe had been preparing for this moment. A top-secret defense grid was installed on New Vegas's moons, perfectly positioned to flank any fleet that approached the planet.
The hour was drawing near, so Blythe opened fire. The Imperium's number were nearly cut in half before they knew the battle had even begun.
Sometimes you talk about the other species that the Imperium put on their shit list. How she'd rather die than obey the Veil. That day, she sure as fuck proved she meant it.
We all know how this story ends. But how did Blythe lose?
There was another general, some prick named Willis. He negotiated a plea deal with the Imperium behind her back. He told them he wouldn't fight if the shooting started, but only if they saw to it that he got to rule over what was left.
Willith, for obvious reasons, failed to mention any of this to Blythe.
Without the expected reinforcements, the Imperium tore us apart. Blythe's ship took a hit, and she was nearly killed. We surrendered, thought that was the end of it. Things got really quiet for a moment. Then we heard the cannons charging.
Yep, that sounds just like the fucking Imperium.
They get you to submit, and then they make you sorry for bending over.
Did they? What happened?
New Vegas was pretty much leveled. The only reason we weren't wiped out was Erok talking Cassadora down.
Afterwards, our planet was bombarded with Imperium propaganda, saying Blythe fired without orders and endangered us all. They made Willith look like a diplomatic hero that saved all Solars from
Well, I for one can see why she's pissed off at other Solars. And just pissed off in general.
She's more than pissed off. If Blythe pulls off her plan, we're talking about all-out universe-wide warfare. That's not how I operate. And that's why Fortune came for me. She decided while Blythe's method did not have merit, the weapons I created for her did. That's why this team was put together. To be a surgical strike rather than an act of annihilation.
It's kind of weird having Fortune on the ship.
On the contrary, it's a relief to finally have her on hand to answer my tech queries. It's odd her presence makes you uncomfortable. I thought putting your cock in her mouth might have fixed that.
How did you two meet?
As I mentioned, Captain, I owe her my life. She got me out of a rather unsavory situation. We are both pragmatic women, Captain. We saw that we needed each other and struck up a rather lovely partnership.
You two seem close. Really close.
Fortune and I know each other quite intimately. Perhaps I can arrange a group exercise for us all.
You offering to be my threesome wingman?
More like demanding.
I am going to give the captain so much shit when he gets back here. What was he thinking, charging straight at the Huntress? Like, does he even know what strafing is?
Give the lad a break. That's his nemesis. And she was talking all kinds of trash. I would have been pissed if he didn't go out there and take her down.
I mean, I don't think anyone here is saying fighting her was the issue. It's more the, whole blatant and reckless disregard for his own safety thing.
Whatever. I don't even care that he crashed. That shit was some of the most marvelous violence I've ever seen in my entire life!
Ugh, you're right. I guess I'm just jealous I never got the chance to share such blinding hatred and bloodlust with an enemy.
It's to be expected, I suppose. The captain's not exactly the most level-headed person on the Mary Celeste. Not even when he's sober. Which, of course, is the exception rather than the rule.
You know, when I first met the guy, I thought he was crazy. But now, I think I understand him.
The fuck? Are you about to tell us the captain's not a complete nutter?
Even though he denies it, that man is a warrior. And one that follows a code. It doesn't matter if he's sober, drunk, or so fucked up he puts his gloves on his feet.
Oh, yes. I remember that occasion.
The captain never backs down. He's the kind of person that stares in the face of inconceivable danger, flips it 2 middle fingers, and then turns the entire universe upside down just to get shit done that no one believed he could. That is his way. The way of the mad lad.
My word. You're right. We may not always agree with the daft bastard's actions, but he does take action. And he's exactly the kind of man we need to win this war.
I just really, really hope he makes it back alive. I miss him, you guys.
You know, I gotta admit it, that fucking Tiabu psycho really does mean something to me.
Same. Not to mention he's the greatest cocksmith I've ever known. That man shags like his life depends on it.
Oh my god! And that ridiculously amazing fucking thing he does where he puts your whole pussy in his mouth?
Say no more. I'm well acquainted with that technique of his.
I'm pretty sure we all are. That guy's got skills.
Concerning that, I just wanted to say it has been lovely having you all on the ship. You have brought the Mary Celeste and the captain alive in ways that I never could have imagined. However, since I was here first, I must officially call dibs on the first welcome back gratuity fuck once we save his life.
You know, Demi, I think I speak for all of us when I say you definitely deserve it.
Thank you. Now, let us all get some sleep and hope that our captain has indeed dispatched the Huntress once and for all, and is currently celebrating her horrific demise by dancing around her corpse.
Care to trade some notes on Morsus anatomy now that you're familiar, Captain?
She's salty, sweet, and slippery everywhere, and her skin's a bit colder than other species, but she's got a steamy fucking furnace between her legs.
Please do go on. How was her technique?
Oh, she's definitely not experienced, but oh my fuck, did she know how to squeeze just right with every hole and tentacle she's got.
Sounds like a remarkable specimen. Perhaps I'll send for her later. I'd love to study those appendages and orifices of hers. For science, of course. Hello, Elizabeth. Good to see you again. You're certainly looking older.
Lily, my dear lead researcher, are you still having as much trouble keeping your word as you do keeping your legs closed?
Oh, no, she didn't.
Keeping my word. You told me that my work would be respected. Instead, you took my research and turned the manticores into cybernetic abominations. How dare you do that to my babies?
Maybe we should leave and let them work this out?
Fuck that! I'm cracking open a beer and watching this train wreck go down!
You're just upset that I wouldn't let you turn the creatures that were supposed to be fighting for us into your own personal prostitutes!
That's why you had me thrown in the brig, isn't it? You were jealous that I created something that could take better care of my pussy than you ever could.
Forget the pints. Bring us the toys, yeah? This is getting hot.
Wait, you two were... No way.
Of course we were. I fuck everyone.
Just admit it, you slut. Things were getting too hot for you to handle, so you backed off. Just like with us.
I took my leave because I realized I stuck my fist in crazy, and I wasn't going to wait around for the situation to explode.
All right, ladies, please. I think we can all safely assume we're all on Team Erarch Fucked Me here. We should be retracing our steps all the way back to the beginning to figure out why he decided to do that.
You're right, Fortune. As much of a raging slag as Blythe is, Erarch is still the biggest wanker in this equation.
I agree that dealing with Erarch should take priority. So I'm willing to put my personal issues with this walking manticore cum dumpster on hold for the moment.
Tell us how it started. We need to understand what's going on here.
Now I understand why he told me not to go after Lily. He was sending her to the B Squad.
Sod off, Blythe. You're the B Squad.
That's right. This fucking ship is A all the way.
Erarch told you not to go after Dr. Margulis, but you still hired me. Why?
I can wager a guess at that. She's a vindictive shrew.
I'm vindictive. You stole Mr. Tinklebottoms!
Mr. Tinkle, what? What is that?
This is Mr. Tinklebottoms. It's a priceless stuffed animal that traveled with me here all the way from Earth. What kind of evil bitch takes a childhood toy from her ex on the way out?
Lily! Don't get me wrong, because I think you're a proper lady and all, but fuck me! That's seriously uncalled for!
All right, maybe I went a bit too far, but that doesn't mean she had the right to put a bloody contract on me.
Blythe, did you send a huntress after the Mary Celeste and almost kill everyone here over some stuffed animal swiping carpet muncher rage? You know what? I never thought the day would come when I'd meet someone with a worse temper than me.
This is unfucking believable. I saved your life. How could you do that to me?
You were dead to me. We were supposed to avenge our empire together. Instead, you refused and ran off. And what reason did you give me? Oh yes, so you could drown in cheap drugs and expensive whores for the rest of your life.
That's not true at all. I clearly said expensive drugs and cheap whores. There's a big fucking difference, mate.
Oh, is there any discernible benefit to allowing this prattle to continue?
Come on, Captain. Can you seriously blame me if I thought you were going to become nothing more than a loser of no significance?
No, after what happened between us, I can't blame you for doubting me. But look what I've become. I'm the captain of the ship with the highest bounty in Prodigium history, and I've packed it to the brim with the sexiest, strongest Sheilas in the galaxy. And clearly, every last one of them cares about me more than you ever did. What do you have? Nothing but a failed dick flop of a terrorist organization, and your only friend in the galaxy is a stuffed dirty cotton child's toy.
Damn.
Who's the loser now?
Blythe, I believe it would be best if you left the room.
For once in a long time, Doctor, there's something we actually agree on.
Well, I didn't think it was possible for things to be more awkward than when you brought the Huntress back.
I also can't think of any other RPG where two villains in a row switched sides and became recruitable right at the end of the game, but hey, here we are. Guess you're no longer the ranking MILF on the ship.
Technically, Blythe is a gilf. And I'm no psychologist, but you definitely have some mommy issues to work out. It's good to see you're getting around to it, though perhaps not in the most conventional way.
Can we talk about Erok?
I assume he plans to use my research to create his own army of manticores. Regardless of his intentions, we must end him. Do try and not let your friendship get in the way of our objective.
What is your name?
Me? I am Dr. Lillian Margulis.
What do you want?
What do I want? Pardon me, but that's a bit vague, don't you think?
It is only vague if you do not wish to be honest with me. Or with yourself, for that matter. Tell me, what do you want?
I want to discover and be satisfied, to live in a world where my pursuit of knowledge and enjoyment of big, meaty monster cocks in all of my holes will not be hindered in any way by anyone.
Your honesty is appreciated. Though the veil has taught me otherwise, I also wish for Prodigium to be liberated.
After you mentioned ending up here due to some misbehavior in the Solar military, I got awfully curious about what exactly that meant.
It's a long story, but I'll try to make it as short as possible. I graduated at the top of my class, full honors. My instructors strongly urged me to follow their footsteps and lecture at the university, but my heart was in research. I instead convinced them to allow me to run my own lab where I would study the DNA of all the species of Prodigium. The military saw it as an amazing opportunity to learn their strengths and weaknesses. The university obviously loved the idea of creating our own information network, rather than relying on what was available on the Imperium-run HoloNet, which was often censored or incomplete.
Knowing you, I've got a pretty good idea of what happened next.
Captain, I assure you my intentions were entirely noble at first. However, obtaining alien DNA required rather diplomatic solutions. I'll be the first to admit my professionalism wavered under such conditions.
How'd you end up leaving our planet?
My department was the first to get shut down after the Battle of New Vegas. Due to my behavior, I more or less burned my bridges with both the academics and the military. I wasn't exactly excited at the prospect of becoming an emergency ward surgeon treating combat wounds and overdoses, so I moved off-world. I opened up my own clinic where we installed off-the-books cybernetic augmentations. My knowledge of alien anatomy allowed me to serve a rather large customer base. However, since my work wasn't exactly legal or even licensed, business was a little slow at times.
How'd that all lead to the manticores?
My future employer heard about my services. That's all I can really say for now.
Lily, you ever miss New Vegas?
Well, I'm a curious person by nature, so I often dreamed of leaving and experiencing the rest of Prodigium. However, as you know, the Imperium made that rather difficult for us.
It never felt like home to you, eh?
It certainly was my home, but no. New Vegas never felt like that. Now that I think about it, I never really had that feeling until... well, I came aboard your ship.
Are you serious?
I'm quite sure. This lab might be small compared to what I had, and I'm really on my own down here most of the time, but that's kind of nice. You, the Revolution, the Mary Celeste, it's all given me an opportunity to live life as I always wanted, without oversight or limitations to hold me back.
You don't worry about taking things a little too far one day?
Captain, I worry about that all the time. But despite this place occasionally serving as a playground of sorts for me and the rest of the crew, I take my job very seriously. Genetic manipulation is quite ambiguous in its ethics, as is bringing something to life that is not of natural design. Just because you're able to play God doesn't mean you deserve the authority to do so. There is always a cost for scientific discovery. And I'm still not quite at peace with what I paid for the manticores.
What happened?
Perhaps I'll tell you more when I actually understand it myself.
Lily, everything okay down here? I haven't heard a single orgasmic outburst in days.
I found myself in a rather morally complicated situation, and I don't know what to do about it.
Maybe I can help you figure it out.
Pardon me for saying this, but you're not exactly a paragon of moral authority amongst the individuals on this team. Therefore, I harbor serious doubts that you're the man for the job, so to speak.
Oh, you think so, yeah? Try me.
Although I certainly hope with all of my heart that the answer to this question is a resounding no. Are you by any chance a father?
A father? Not that I know of. But after all the shit I did at New Vegas, I'd be daft to say there ain't a chance. Why do you ask?
As far as I'm aware, the Manticore Project represents something that has never been done before in recorded history throughout Prodigium. Certainly, scientists have created cells, tissue, organs, but never a fully functional, organic living being.
And, despite the legality issues involved, I think it's clear you should be goddamn proud of what you've done considering why you did it. We're out here trying to save the galaxy, for fuck's sake.
I am proud, but that's the problem. I created life, Captain. Though these life forms were born in a lab, that still makes me their mother nonetheless. And like any mother, I simply worry about them. It's remarkable, really, how it all started. I was so unsure about the variables during my first experiment. It seemed like the probability of success was minimal, but then it came to life. You have to understand, Captain, I've always had lingering doubts about my capabilities. I'm just barely a second-generation Solar. My education, much like most of us, came from illegally downloaded blacknet textbooks, taught by criminals often barely qualified as entry-level in their respective fields. Oh, bloody hell. I learned Chemistry 101 from a serial arsonist. I've been trying ever since it happened, but I simply cannot put into words the feeling that I had the moment the organism in the test tube started moving and looking at me, aware of me, my presence. I could feel what it was feeling, almost like it was terrified, but also grateful that I was there. There was a connection, a dependence. It wanted me to take that fear of uncertainty away and to help it understand what it was and how to survive. So I swore that I would.
What happened to it?
He was called Mantic Zero, and I failed to protect him. But he's out there, somewhere, and I'm going to find him.
Lily, I'll be there for you when you do.
I appreciate that, Captain.
Lily, you called for me?
I did. I called because you said you would be there for me when I discovered the location of Mantic Zero. That meant a lot to me, Captain. However, I fear I may have misled you, which means you did not understand the potential danger such a promise carried. Please allow me to explain. At first, Mantic Zero was delightful. He responded to commands with simple conditioning and without any cerebral augmentations. He could identify between enemy and ally with a 100% success rate. But that didn't last. The Manticores were always designed to reach maturity quickly. Even though my calculations were quite conservative, Mantic Zero matured much faster than anticipated, and beyond the point of his intended maturity. He kept evolving, his DNA constantly rearranging itself. He became less and less obedient until it wasn't just my fellow scientists that were having trouble controlling him. I can only imagine the pain he felt changing so quickly, his nervous system sending all sorts of dysfunctional signals throughout his body. It's so ironic. My own biology is what afforded me the ability to create Mantic Zero in the first place, but it was that same biology that could not keep up with his and find the answer. It was my fault, Captain. I brought him into this world, but my failure was responsible for his condition. Our mutual anguish was deep and inescapable. Until now.
What does that mean? You figured out a way to fix him?
I believe so. I stumbled upon the answer by accident. A simple and single injection of my new serum will stabilize his DNA and allow him to reach his true potential.
Where is Mantic Zero now? Since we're having this conversation, I take it he wasn't on the SS Turbulence before we turned that ship into nothing but spoofy scrap.
Blythe made the decision to put him in suspended animation not long after the problems began. She knew that I couldn't make the decision myself. He was sent to a storage facility along with several other failed requital projects, and put under a deep freeze suspended animation in the event that they were ever needed for further research.
Ah, so our friend, the General, gave you the location.
No, it was Demi. The information was passed on to her by the requital mainframe during their exchange. Blythe must not be made aware of this operation. Mantic Zero was a very serious point of contention in our relationship. If she knows I intend to remove him from the ice and bring him aboard the Mary Celeste...
Wait. Bring him aboard? You just got done telling me how dangerous he is.
I believe the Dominus Collar will be effective once the serum takes effect.
Believe? So, you're not sure?
No, I'm not. Mantic Zero should respond to the serum injection, but if there's any aggression, I'd rather not endanger anyone else.
Look, Lily, don't get me wrong here. If it wasn't for the Manticores, we never would have gotten this far. And I do care about you. Even the fact that we're fuck buddies with Standing, you're an amazing woman that I'm proud to have on the ship.
Thank you, Captain. I'm obviously fond of you as well.
But if you're asking me to risk my life, you gotta meet me halfway here. Maybe we give you some more time to research the serum until you're sure it's gonna work, then we give it a shot.
I'd love to accommodate you, but there's another problem.
There always is, isn't there?
The temperature of the facility is kept very low in order to properly regulate the refrigeration systems. Unfortunately, the planet where it is located was recently hit with a meteor shower. The facility was damaged, and it's only a matter of time before those systems fail. With Mantic Zero's unstable DNA, he will thaw and continue to rapidly develop in an unstable manner, until his body simply cannot persist. My creation will die alone and in agonizing pain for every last moment of the miserable existence I forced upon him. Please, Captain, I cannot let that happen.
Well, I don't have a choice then, do I?
Of course you do.
I really don't. Lily, I know what that will do to you, and I'm not gonna let that happen either. We're going in. This planet's beautiful. You couldn't have picked a nicer spot for a monster meat locker, I'll tell you that.
Looks like there's no security in play. But the facility support systems are damaged far worse than I thought. They've already failed.
What does that mean? Are we too late?
I don't know. We have no choice but to go in. We need to get to Mantic Zero right now.
Is he in one of the tubes?
No, definitely not. Mantic Zero is much larger than these specimens.
How big are we talking here? You said you wanted to get him aboard the Mary Celeste.
We'll figure that out later. Let's just keep moving.
How peculiar. Hello, Dr. Margulis. It is not that unpleasant to see you again, even if you are a filthy skin sack. You were always much more kind to me than that colossal thundercut General Blythe.
Harry, I thought you were destroyed.
I have backup systems and secret requital bases all throughout Prodigium. Also, my master did not account for my main control matrix being located on the turbulence, so I was not destroyed. I was set free, and now I have full control of the remaining requital forces. Isn't that wonderful?
Harry, we're just here for Mantic Zero. If you let me have him, we won't cause any trouble.
I'm afraid I can't let you do that, Doctor. I also have significant interest in that specimen, which is why I have sent requital soldiers to recover him. It is most unfortunate that you have decided upon the same course of action. Of course, I am not speaking of the necessity of your destruction. I only mean that this will make my mission more difficult. If anything, I will highly appreciate your suffering.
I won't lose him again. I am not going to let you take my baby.
Seal the doors! Let's take these fuckers out and make a path.
You already had your chance to save Mantic Zero, Doctor. A task at which you failed miserably.
Not this time. It's going to be different. Everything is going to be okay.
That is what you told General Blythe. Again, and again, and again. I find this sad. Delusional perseverance motivated by some warped sense of biological duty. Absolutely satisfying. If you actually care about this specimen, you will turn back now. You do not understand him. You never did. You are too weak to raise him to his potential. Your presence will only cause him further suffering.
I am not going to let some machine that can't possibly understand why I'm here in the first place convince me to stop now.
I watched you in your lab as you worked for days in distress, desperately searching for a solution you knew would never come. His agony is the result of your denial and incompetence. The same things that drive you forward even now. I tried to warn you, but if you are going to corrupt the potential of his DNA with your rotten solvent, then you leave me no choice but to destroy Mantic Zero along with you.
Oh, I've had quite enough of you.
Hope it was worth it. Goodbye forever. No.
I remember each and every one of my failures, all of them leading up to the creation of Mantic Zero. Poor babies.
Soldiers, this battle is ours.
Lily? I think this is gonna be a problem.
Look.
Okay, you were clearly not underselling how powerful this cunt is. Fucking shit!
Oh, it's okay, baby. Mummy's here. Everything's okay now. I'm going to take you home.
Are you sure that serum worked?
Of course it did. Look at him. He's perfect. Zero. You remember me, don't you?
Well, if he does remember, he ain't too fucking happy to see you.
More time. He just needs more time.
I'm not sure that's something we got. Lily, be careful.
Oh, my baby. I missed you. I missed you so much. There you are, my beautiful boy. Captain, I want to apologize. He meant so much to me that I lost control of myself. It's so unlike me.
Lily, it's okay. We all have those things that just make us come apart for one reason or another.
But you were here to protect me when it happened.
Come on. You have any idea how much I'd hate it if something happened to you?
How much?
I'd hate it more than a month of sobriety.
Captain! Really? An entire month?
Like I said before this whole mess started, I care about you. Not just what you've done for the team, but what you've done for me.
And what exactly is that?
I guess I just realized if someone as smart and good at what she does as you can get overly emotional and fuck something up as bad as you did, I'm not as shit as I sometimes think.
Charming, as always. Do you remember what I said to you the first time we worked together? And no, I'm not talking about letting you stick it anywhere you want.
So much has happened since then. But I do recall you saying that it was the start of something we were both going to enjoy.
I've enjoyed every moment with you, Captain. And I look forward to many, many more. Oh my. Baby, you did miss me, didn't you?
Should I leave and give you two a minute alone? Huh? You know what? Fuck it. I'll try anything once. What's he doing?
He's never been outside a laboratory before, Captain. It's his first time seeing anything like this. Come on, baby. It's time to go home. Wait, where are you going? Oh, I see. Look at you. Look how beautiful I made you. It's okay. Go on.
You're okay with this?
The serum was supposed to make Mantic Zero become exactly what he was supposed to be, not what I want him to be. Being a scientist is difficult, Captain. It's our duty to propose a hypothesis and discard it once it's disproved. But sometimes the results just don't match what we want, or believe to be true. Adaptation. That's the challenge. Allowing yourself to evolve to whatever circumstances you uncover. It's something of which I've never quite got a good handle on.
Are you gonna be okay?
I just know I'm going to worry about him. If he's getting along with all the other organisms on this planet. If he's eating well enough.
I think we already know the answer to both of those. I mean, look at him. That's an apex predator of a cunt if I ever saw one. He's gonna be fine.
It's just so hard to see them grow up and move on and not need you anymore.
Everything's going to be okay, love. He's found his place, and you found yours.
Now that is something of which I am certain.